We do have the Star Trek replicator for software. This is a new thing. Only about this year do we have that level of technology, as we have a replicator for software and shitty games. I welcome you to Clawhammer long playthrough. This is not a post-apocalypse game. That is too blatant of a genre. That's too easy. This is a reconstructionist game. This is after the apocalypse. This is from 2 vibe coding sessions. And so we're doing this live together. It's a first play together. So we have these solar farms that spawn. And this first 2 entire dev sessions, they've been about the kind of feeling of the narrative world of the game. What is the feeling of the world? What is the core chop wood, carry water type tasks that you're likely to need to do over and over? And that's what this first time gameplay here is that I just completed moments ago. That's what this is doing. It's like I'm feeling, literally walking up to the tide's edge and checking my camera angles and seeing how the solar farm looks and seeing how the transitions feel to go in between of cinematic mode cameras and sit down mode cameras. There's a variety of overall color palettes. You can see how it's kind of neon to one side and orange to the other. So there's an algorithm that blends from color palette to color palette in a cycle for every 10th, I think it's like for every 10th of a mile that you go or something like that, 1/5 of a mile that you travel. And this map is no joke. Like, it would take longer than this is 2x sped up on this video playback, and it would take another 4 times as long to even drive like halfway across this map. The map is like bigger than a lot of the GTA games. It's like 16 square miles, and I could go a lot bigger if I wanted. So this is what we spent all the time in the beginning vibe coding when I said that I took a full several hours to like make an architecture plan. That's what we were doing all this time, is we were resurrecting old school 90s rendering techniques by name. So this is how they used to do terrain in the 90s. There's all these level of detail hacks, streaming things in and instancing and shaders and buffering, and to make all these solar panels they can render on even a low-end mobile device. I'm not even gonna recall the exact names of all the shit that we did with the AI, but it's some kind of shader technique where those are like fake surfaces, the posts and the solar panels, and they can glimmer in the sun, and they're really convincing as solar panels, but they're like, it's like one draw call for like the entire solar farm or something like that. Or else if you did it the naive way, placing like individual solar panels, like you wouldn't even be able to drive past that many on a mobile application, but you can do it on this one because of the techniques. And that all came out of that first day of planning. So what the fuck is this? What are we doing here? Why are we driving in an RV through this world that looks just like Bermeo Heights, one of my past apps? So the look and feel and the gameplay, nothing is set in stone. I've just been doing a lot of experiments with AI all the time. So the models that existed 6 months ago, like yes, they could, yes, technically pull this off 6 months ago. It's just like we've crossed a certain level of like convenience and amount of hardware that you need and amount of money that you need to spend for the level of results you get. Like, this to me is a playable proof of concept, a vertical slice proof of concept. Like, those headlights can toggle on and off. The robot main player character is actually physically riding in that RV right now. You can see him when the camera, see right there, you can see the angle of him. So we get these randomly spawned villages. There's going to be a whole lore behind this. Oh, and look where we've ended back up after traversing that map. We were just kind of, I don't even think I was planning this. We went for a long drive. This is like my first time really seeing if this is feasible, like if this can make a viable, can this make a viable end-to-end experience. Yeah, let's park right there with a nice view of the lake, and we're right at one of the top 4 major cities of the map, and the map is huge. It's 16 square miles. So we're at this lake side of this big downtown. We got our camping spot. This is like an aspect that I wanted to play with, is a feel of the real-time night cycle coming in and the feeling of needing to get somewhere to camp. And in this case, I have spawned both these vehicles. So we've got the mini truck and the RV. If you drive them 100 miles apart from each other, they will remain 100 miles apart from each other, and there's no quick travel. There's no quick spawn. I just took that giant ass gameplay loop and I ended up back where we left the other vehicle. And then there's a spawn campfire button. The game mechanics will be coming next. There's no actual game mechanics here. It's just developing ideas. That's what this is all about. It's developing a vertical slice concept and proof of concept, and I'm experiencing it just for the same time, just like you are. And AI wrote 100% of this code after our 1-day long planning session. And I would call this a successful playtest. Now, it didn't take no time investment. It did in fact take a big time investment. What do you guys think? Would you play this? I've got some concepts around this that relate to power management, because that is the most predictable thing that I can think of. Is the whole world is going to be constrained on power. If AI is this powerful that it can crank out a game like this, no problem. Like this would have been like 9 months of my work the old-fashioned way before AI existed, for me to do this much of a prototype. And I was able to do that in like 9 hours rather than 9 months. That's like a pretty big compression of human labor. That's just the most obvious thing to me, is just make it about power and energy management and energy distribution. And I have ideas for that, but that's going to take that'll take like another whole Saturday of prompting and visualizing the game mechanic for myself, and then working with AI to finalize the game mechanics and draft a plan I would draft a plan that would keep the AI running for like an hour, and in that hour it would do like months of work the old-fashioned way. So that's it. It's called Clawhammer. There's going to be more to discover about the naming and the concept and the place and the story and the narrative arc, but what you saw, it's more or less what you see is what you get. Like as far as like graphics and overall like what the fuck did we just watch? Like for the overall experience, like that is really close to what I'm going for. And obviously it needs to be more exciting and more continuous, and there needs to be more save checkpoints and like social aspects, so that different players are going to be able to like purchase entire buildings, and these buildings are permanent in the 16-mile square landscape. These points are always generated the same, so a mountaintop is always a mountaintop. And I'm thinking of some form of land reclamation, land ownership. You own like plots of land and own real estate, but in like a surprising way. So that obviously, you can tell it needs to be developed. That's like, I need to develop that. See, I haven't developed the game like super far. These are just areas I'm going. It all comes back down to the battery. Energy is the only resource. Like there is no tokens, there is no dollars, there is no score really. It's just like energy. It's about energy management. You gotta like take the energy, move the energy to the right spot to create the right kind of other energy. That's my long-term concept, at least, is this world fleshes out with your memories of the locations where you planted real estate and the locations where you made your perfect campsite. And then you're able to leave like artifacts. You're gonna take like travelogue photos of the spot, and they'll like pop up on the map that like other people have visited there, and you'll be able to like have your note about the spot. You could either spawn your whole individual universe, but it's gonna be more boring because you have to hand out the link to your universe to get the world to populate, or you can accept the public URL. It's like opt-in. You would opt into it, and you wouldn't even have to provide your name. You could make up a bullshit name. You don't even have to log in. And there's many ways you could play it. You could try to own the real estate. You could try to own the energy game. You could try to be just taking beautiful vista photos. You could try to be buying the perfect land for campsites. And yeah, so it's a long-term project. I think it would take like 10 more sessions of AI development to bring it to a finished state, but tell me what you think, if you think there's something there.